it got through in this area, not in that area, and yeah, I also tried that area. Welcome to DIY with Herman James. I'm Herman James, and on today's episode, I'm trying to be running some wires for this TV I hung in my garage, because there's no electrical. Smart. As I said in the intro, I'm going to install a single gang electrical outlet in my garage. The reason I want to put the electrical box is because there's no electrical here at all. So if I'm able to cut in between the two studs here with that cool bit there, and then use a drill bit, I've got a long drill bit up here, get it diagonal right through there, and be able to pull the wires to a junction box that's right at the top of my attic. So let's take a look at this tool and see what we have. Well, that's not gonna work. Alright, so a lot of trial and error later, and me dremeling off a dull bit for the back piece to push in, if you can see it here, the actual diaphragm here of it doesn't want to sit on there very well. And even though this says it's for every oscillating saw, it is very apparent it doesn't fit the Dremels very well. But I'm gonna see if I can get this to at least hook up over there, and if I press it against it, it hopefully will stay. Let's find out. So as you can see, I already know where I'm looking for the studs. And I also know where the ones are over here because I obviously put a lag bolt in there. So I'm just going to shoot for this general area. And hopefully it's going to hold. And it fell right off. Well, a lot of trial and error, and I got it to work, but I got it to work because of that piece. I can pop this out, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is really cool that it cuts out the piece so perfectly so that it can be patched back in if you want to, and the hole is supposed to be perfectly lined up with everything, and this is supposed to pop out easily. Again, I'm just a dumb guy in my garage, not a carpenter, not a general contractor, just a weekend warrior. But this right here, this is the only way this stayed on. I had to cut off with a wire wheel the piece that goes onto a regular bit inside of this, pushing this piece down and getting these grooves to stick on. This piece in the middle is too small to hold this on. This guy on here that I cut off worked perfect. Now let's take a look at the hole. It danced a little bit around here, but I mean, really, really good. Perfect hole. Thankfully it's my garage and that was my first take at it, and I don't care about this wall too much, but even a little bit of sanding on that down, and that'd be perfect. Alright, so day 2, drill bit number 1 was not working too well for me to be able to get the clearance up in the attic to get through. It's supposed to be just a simple 2x4, and since the original drill bit couldn't work, go for the foot long. That should be more than long enough to cut through two 2x4s, even if they're laying on their sides. 8 inches is still not going to be more than 12. There's a little bit of a gap in between where the pocket door was
and then where the framing for the actual attic is. So it's got some leeway, but what I'm looking at here is where I drilled down is right at this area. So I'm looking at making sure that I have angled this bit a little bit further over to get in between these two studs, so it pops up right in this area, so I can put some fish tape in there and then pull everything down. If you don't have fish tape, a magnet, some string, and a nut or a washer does just fine. Just hang it down, fish a magnet in, and it'll pull through. But since I'm coming at an angle, and there's also a little bit of insulation in there, it could be a little bit more difficult if you're trying to go that route. But let's get up in the attic and see what's gonna happen. All right, so now we're in the depths of my wonderful attic here. All the funness. I've already installed some flooring down in this area for ourselves, which works out great, except for I had to pull this section up because right here where the HVAC is coming is also right where I'm trying to, as you can see, drill the hole to get right into my wall right there. And now the actual plug is right underneath the HVAC area on the wall right there, but there's also a beam coming right here, so I need to angle it just a little bit that way to get to work. Unbeknownst to you, this is taking me several tries. So as you saw, I was just in the attic on your end, and I was trying to auger down, which I did successfully get through, but the problem is it didn't get through where I wanted it to. So what happened is it got through in this area, not in that area, and yeah, I also tried that area, and that also didn't work. So now I finally got it through here. I'm gonna wire up a new box, have it parallel here, and it'll still be hidden behind there, so that's good. I'm really happy that you won't see the wires. And then once it's good to go, I'll show you when I get back up in the attic. But let's get this box wired. Since there is a stud here, I could use a box that is bolted directly into the stud, but that was unintentional. I didn't plan for that to be that way. So I've got these ones where these flaps come out and they're supposed to grab in, of course, because that's there. It's going to be a little bit more different, and it's probably not going to have enough room to grab, but it'll grab on this one, and I can always throw a bolt right through here to get on there, or sink it through there, right here and here, over top. So I'm gonna punch out one of these guys here just to let the cable slide through, and then I'll pull enough of the cable through so I can strip it. First, I really want to get this through, see how the fitment is going to be, and then I'll strip the wires and run the outlet. Mind you, there's nothing at the top of this cable that's plugged in. It is just a spool sitting in my attic. So I've got about 25 feet of it, so I want to make sure I've got enough room to do whatever I need to do. And there we go. Like I said, I can throw some screws in there and there. Since the plates are bolt there. And then when I tighten this down, those screws will be where I want them to be. Actually, that had a little bit of bite left to it, and it actually worked. Not bad at all. So now I've got this here, unsheathing all of this, and attaching that to the outlet. These are your basic, everyday, run-of-the-mill shears and crimpers. These are the ones I like to use because you set the depth there, the two tongs at the top, pull down, and separate things. Personal preference. You can use whatever you normally would use as long as you get the job done. As you've seen in other videos, some of my house has these guys. I'm switching them out to this guy. I'll put the link in the description so you can see it. It is just the USB outlet. So I can hook up fire sticks or whatever I want to use to this one. And again, very easy. Just telling you on here. Black, hot, white, neutral, and then copper wire at the bottom. So let's get these guys stripped and attached. Well, new day for me, not so much for you. Time to head up and see what we got. Welcome to the attic here. Now, this is where I'm looking to make sure we've got power. So I'm gonna step over some beams here and get to where I gotta get to. So I've done the fun part of running the wire under where it's gotta go, and I'll secure it to the board here once I get through. First, I need to make sure that I don't have any voltage going through here. I've cut the power, and this is a sniffer, and I've got no voltage coming through at all. So we're good to go. Now, I have a lot of extra wire that doesn't need to be here, so I'm just going to see if I can find a good spot for it and a good length, and then go from there. The question is, will it work? Only one way to find out. Turn the power back on. First, I gotta get out of here. Alright, so now that I'm out of the attic, that was way hotter than it should be, and it's only 70 degrees here in Sacramento. Let's check the outlet to see if it's hot. So we're on, just checking on currents. And that's a live outlet now. Again, that was dead a second ago. Now it's live. So, let's plug in the TV, see if the TV's gonna work. And we've got a live TV. Great. Now, like any normal person, I could have used one of these guys. Would have showed me if it was connected, how it's working. I can plug this in now as well. And you see, the two lights indicate wired correctly. So, long and the short of it, that's how I'm recycling my TV. I'm taking it from the living room TV, if you saw social media, the giant screen that was in there now, moved the other big screen to my master bedroom, the master bedroom TV, to here in the garage. Now I'm going to be hooking up a fire stick that I already have, that's already hacked, so I can watch football in the garage while I'm working on the Z, or cleaning things up, and just have other YouTube videos up here while I'm learning to do more things myself. Well, that's all for this episode. Well, that's it for this one, so I want to thank you for tuning in, thank you for sharing, and if you have any ideas of what I did wrong, right, liked anything, put a comment below. If this is your first time checking out the channel, please consider subscribing. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for lasting this long in the episode, and I can't wait to be in your eyes and ears next time.